Welcome to the lecture 5 of module 5. The topic we are going to discuss is TCP connection management modeling. So we have already seen the connection establishment and connection release in the TCP, and in that we have seen that during the connection establishment certain control messages will be transferred between the client and the server. Okay, after transferring this control messages only the connection will be established. Okay, so while transferring this control messages, when transferring these messages, the client and the server will be moving from one state to another state. Okay, so this state change or the change of the state is represented using a state diagram. Okay, so using the state diagram, we are going to explain the change of state of the client and the server. Okay, so that is the TCP connection management modeling. So the idea is to represent the TCP connection state which progresses from one state to another state on as various messages are exchanged. Okay, so when exchanging various messages, the client or the server will be moving from one state to another state. Okay, so we will discuss the state diagram in detail. To simplify the matter, we will consider the two state diagram, one for TCP connection establishment and another for connection closing. Okay, so we are going to explain two TCP connection, two state diagram, one for connection establishment and another for connection closing. Okay, so let us explain. First we can explain the connection establishment in detail. Okay, so this is the state diagram for the connection establishment. So initially the client and the server will be in the closed state. So in this closed state no operation is being performed. Okay, so if a client wants to get a connection with the server, it will be sending a SON message, sync packet. Okay, we have already learned that SON packet. Okay, so the sync packet will be sent by the client to the server in order to get the connection. Okay, as soon as this sync packet is transmitted, the client will be moving from this closed state to sync send state. Okay, sync send state means the client has sent the sync messages to get the connection with the server. Okay, so that is why it is closed. From the closed state it will be moving to the sync send state. Okay, at that time we will be sending the sync message. Okay, the client or the server also. Okay, in order to the server the server can give the connection only if it is in a listen state. Okay, so the server will be moving from a partially open state to from closed state, and with a partially open condition it will be moving to the listen state. Listen statements it is listening for a request for the connection. ഒരു കണക്ഷന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ലിസൺ ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ലിസൺ സ്റ്റേറ്റിൻ്റെ അർത്ഥം. ലിസൺ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് മീൻസ് ദാറ്റ് ദ ക്ലയൻറ്റ് or the server is waiting for a connection request. Okay, that condition is called listen state. Clear? So when the sync send message is being received by the server will be moving from this listen state to the sync received state. Okay, sync received state means the server has received the sync send packet from the client. Okay, so he has received a sync send packet, and also he have given an acknowledgement of the sync send and the ACK. Okay, so from the listen state the server will be moved to the sync received state. Okay, at this time, so this means SON means he has received the sync packet and he has given the acknowledgement for the sync packet, that is called the sync plus ACK. The sync plus ACK is given to the client. Okay, so this sync plus ACK means that the client or the server has received the SON packet from the client, and he has sent the sync plus ACK packet to the client. That is the meaning. ഓക്കെ, SON എന്ന പാക്കറ്റ് റിസീവ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുമുണ്ട്, അതിന് പകരമായിട്ട് അതിൻ്റെ അക്നോളജ്മെൻറ്റും കൊടുത്തു എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഈ സ്ലാഷ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളതിന് മീനിങ്. ക്ലിയർ? Now when this sync plus ACK is received by the client, okay, when this sync plus ACK is received by the client, okay, sync plus ACK is received by the client, it will be moving from the sync send state to the connection established state. Okay, so at this state, what is the meaning? It has received sync plus ACK state, ACK message, and he has given the acknowledgement for this sync plus ACK to the server. That is the meaning. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ ഈ ആ സ്റ്റേറ്റിലാണെങ്കിൽ സിങ്ക് സ്റ്റേറ്റ്, ആ കണ്ടീഷനിൽ സിങ്ക് സ്റ്റേറ്റ്, ദ ക്ലൈൻറ്റ് വിൽ ബി മൂവിങ് ഫ്രം ദ സിങ്ക് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ടു ദ എസ്റ്റാബ്ലിഷ്ഡ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഐ വിൽ സേ ഇറ്റ് വൺസ് മോർ. ഡ്യൂറിങ് വെൻ ദ ക്ലൈൻറ്റ് received the sync plus ACK message from the server and he has sent the acknowledgement for this sync plus ACK, the client will be moving from sync send state to established state. Okay, so now client has established the connection. Okay, now server also needs to get the connection established. Okay, if this ACK has to be sent to the server. If this ACK is received by the client server, okay, the server is actually in sync received state. So when this ACK is received from the client, he'll also be moving into the established state. Okay, so this is the meaning. Clear? So this is the concept for the TCP connection established. Okay, connection establishment. Okay, next is the concept of connection termination. So initially both of them, the client and the server, are initially in the established state. Okay, so the client is actually here, the first case is the client is first initiating the connection disconnection. Okay, connection disconnection request. So for that, the client will be giving a FIN message. We have already learned that FIN message. The client will be initiating the FIN message. So when the client gives the FIN message, the client will be moving to the fin wait 1 state. Okay, it will be moving to the fin wait 1 state. Clear? Now the server. When the server receives this when this fin message, okay, so the server when receiving the fin message, it will be moving to the close wait state. Okay, the fin message is sent by whom? Client. Okay, so when the server receives this fin message, he will go to the close wait state. Okay, and also he will be sending the ACK to the client. Okay, he will also be sending the ACK to the client. Okay, now client when receives this ACK message, will be going to the fin wait 2 state. Okay, second waiting state, that is fin wait 2 state. Okay, so now the client will again, so client has received this fin state from fin message from the server. For that he has given the acknowledgement. So after giving the acknowledgement, for that he will be going to the time wait state. Okay, he will be going to the time wait state. So here the time wait state, this client will wait for a 2 segment of lifetime, or a 2 segment of lifetime he will wait, and after expiring this 2 segment of lifetime, he will be closing the connection. The connection will be closed. Okay, so the client side, the connection has been closed, and the client cannot send the data anymore. Clear? Now the server has to close the connection. Okay, the server can now the server can actually continue the data transfer, but so server has also decided to end the connection. Okay, so the server was in close wait state. He has sent a connection termination request FIN message. Okay, so he has sent this FIN message and moved to the last ACK state. He will move to the last ACK state. Clear? Now client will receive this FIN message and he will send the ACK message. The client will send the ACK message. After this ACK message is received by the server will be moved to the closed state. Okay, now both the client and the server has removed the connection. Clear? Now another case is that if both the client and the server is trying to remove the connection simultaneously. So in this case we have just seen that the client has initiated the connection disconnection first, later the server has initiated the connection disconnection. But another case is if the client and the server is both trying to release the connection simultaneously, then what is the case? Okay, so initially the client has been received in the fin wait state, and the server has reached the close wait state. Okay, so when so initially it was the client and the server were in established state. So when the client sends the first client sends the fin message and move to the fin wait state. Okay, this fin is received by the server and it also moves to the close wait state. Okay, then after that the server will send the fin wait state. Then server will send the fin. Okay, now the server will send the fin message, so that message will be received by the client. So when the server gives the fin message, the client will be directly moving to the closing state. Okay, so when the server gives the fin message, the client will directly move to the closing state instead of this fin wait state. Okay, when the client receives this fin message from the server, it moves to the close state, and it also sends the ACK to the client, ACK to the server. Okay, so when the server receives this ACK, it will receiving that ACK from the client, it will move to the closed state. Okay, now the client will receive the pending ACK message from the server and accept that ACK and moves from the closing state to the time wait state, and after waiting for a segment lifetime, it will be moved to the close state. Okay, so this is the procedure for connection establishment in connection termination. In this connection termination, we are dealing with two cases. The first case is when the client is initiating the connection release first, and later the server is initiating the connection release later. The second case is the client and the server, they are both trying to release the connection simultaneously. That is the second case. Okay, so this is the concept of connection modeling management. Okay,